Limitations and criticisms. The limits of the model are obvious as soon as one considers the hypotheses that it is based on. At the moment, an organization is often not as simple as the pyramid structure described by Peter. Most of the time, an employee who coordinates authors has not been promoted. The various departments are on equal footing, at least in theory. Decentralization and empowerment are encouraged, and there is a tendency to reduce the straightforward vertical hierarchy. This phenomenon is called the flattening of the pyramids. Perhaps it is precisely one of the contemporary ways to avoid the effects of the Peter principle, which originate from a time when hierarchy was more rigid. A position is no longer frozen. If an incompetent employee is appointed to a position and does not assume its responsibilities, it is likely that many of the functions will be progressively assigned to another position. The issue of motivation is also problematic, since some skills shown by the worker can come from this. Indeed, the employee may be efficient at one level of the hierarchy, partially due to motivation. If he continues this enthusiasm, he is likely to acquire the new skills required for the new position more easily, making him more efficient. The current realities of turnover are impressive, since it is estimated that a young person entering the labor market is likely to change their function or business approximately 5 times. Finally, certainly the most questionable Peter hypothesis is that the competency shown in one position is inherently independent from the competency proved in a previous position. Other researchers, such as the Italian physicists Alessandro Pluchino, Andrea Rapisarda, and sociologist Cesar Garo, follow in their article The Peter Principle Revisited, a computational study, offer a revisited perspective of the famous principle by stating the opposite hypothesis. They call it the common sense hypothesis. Competency in a higher position depends on the competency shown in a lower position and is increased or decreased by approximately 10%. The empirical testing of incompetence developed by Peter can also be unreliable. Indeed, the symptoms include so many different behaviors that we cannot, as some do, use them as supposed proof of the Peter principle. If we consider the face value of certain hypotheses, we will eventually be confronted with situations such as this: the person who likes organization too much or is too authoritative is incompetent, but the person who is not organized enough or is not authoritative is also incompetent. If excess is always a bad thing, the majority of the alleged symptoms can originally be perceived as qualities. Also, is it the reason why an incompetent employee adopts these attitudes, but to the extreme, to try to hide his incompetence? In conclusion, the Peter principle is unverifiable, and the satirical tone he uses in his work suggests that it has no real scientific claim.